Hello guys, and welcome to another video from Dota. Today I'm going to be bringing you a bit of a more edited replay, hopefully, on how I believe game adaptability is one of the most important things you can do in Dota. And exactly what do I mean by this? Well, it's kind of a little bit hard to phrase, but basically I mean how well you adapt to adverse situations in games. And everyone, while playing Dota, will encounter situations where they are not leading, where they are behind by quite a lot, where they are losing their lane, where their team is losing their lane, where just overall you're down by a gold and XP disadvantage, and the enemy team are using it well and are looking like they are in a good position to win the game. So I played Tiny this game, and it's not the best example of adapting to bad situations in a game. I would say my Medusa replay is probably a more extreme example of how you can change your playstyle to eventually win the game when massively behind. In this game we're not so massively behind at all, but I do lose my lane in this game. And pretty hard versus a hero that I don't really want to lose my lane against. So I'm Tiny Mid versus Shadow Fiend here, and this is not an easy lane for me by any stretch of the imagination. I should lose this lane if Shadow Fiend is on form, and is just performing well. I am doing okay. I do okay on CS in the early game, as you're about to see. I do out CS him for quite a long time, which shouldn't really happen considering he's ranged, has a good animation, is quicker than me, has more movement speed than me, and eventually is going to rack up more damage than me. Tiny has very nice base damage. His damage goes up really high because of the free strength gain per level. So his damage goes up by 3 each level, which is really strong. But still not a good lane for me. So I expect to lose this lane. Not as hard as I end up losing it, and you're going to see that soon. So just going to be CSing here a little bit. I'm going to fast forward it a little bit for you guys. So here, as you can see, I just got my bottle a decent time. I didn't go for the bottle rush, I went for the stout shield, heavy reach, and I got pulled. But I do go for a stun here onto the Shadow Fiend. It doesn't really do much damage. Alchemist is in the perfect position to get a full-time stun on me, and that's an instant raise. So fast forwarding into the death that happened, I'm going to be doing this a little bit more when I'm trying to get to the point. Hopefully the editing isn't too bad, but you can see there I got quickly stunned, raised, gave a kill to the Shadow Fiend. Very nice gank by Alchemist, but I also misplayed that. I went for a stun. I didn't really do much. I shouldn't have done it anyway, because whenever I go in melee range of Shadow Fiend, he gets a free melee raise. I actually dodged the melee raise, but ate the second raise, the stun, and then the third raise killed me. So good kill there for Shadow Fiend. That's going to get him ahead. He was until now losing in CS, but he is now going to get a little bit ahead of me in CS. But the main thing is going to get ahead of me in is the net worth because of that kill. As you're going to see, I'm going to drop down here in net worth, and I will, if I continue to try and farm again here, a gank going to come out. A nice stun there by Alchemist. Alchemist picks up the DD rune, a rotation by line, 2 raises by Shadow Fiend there, and me dropping again. That second kill, less of a misplay from me. There wasn't a whole lot I could have done there other than realize more that the 2 supports are missing and they're gonna try and rotate to kill me. Good rotation by them, very coordinated, which is rare in pub games for a rotation to be that coordinated through random players, but it was. Klink's going to drop there on the bottom lane, and again I have this on player perspective, so I'm going to be panning. So what I pan to in the game, you're going to see me pan to in the replay. Axe pushing out my lane, not so great for me there, but I'm going to head to this lane. I'm nearly level 6, and obviously if you haven't played Tiny, you won't know, but if you have played Tiny, you will know that when you hit level 6, your kill potential goes up massively. Your movement speed goes up, your attack damage goes up, your attack time goes down, so you attack slower. However, your toss damage goes up as well, and this is very potent, especially in the early game. I only have 2 levels in toss, but I have the level 3 in avalanche, so I'm going to be able to do a lot of damage with a combo. And I decided to nuke this wave out because the rune is about to spawn. That might have looked a bit weird, but you should always nuke the wave out if you can before the rune is about to spawn, so the enemy is forced to take the wave as you can rotate to the rune and pick it up. So I do bottle up there to nearly full mana, full health, and I get a haste rune, and I have a TP scroll. So this haste rune is a really nice rune for Tiny. And I just want to pause it here, guys, because I want to go over what I want to say here. So there were two options I could have. There were two options for me once I picked up that haste rune. A haste rune on Tiny is very, very strong, and a haste rune on most heroes is incredibly strong as well. On Storm, you mainly want a DD. If you have 6, you mainly want a DD or a regen if you're good at playing the hero. But here with the haste on Tiny, it's pretty much the best rune I could get. Maybe a DD is also the best rune I can get. But with this haste, I could have gone to the mid lane. I could have, to go back to what I was saying, I could have rotated back to the mid lane and continued to farm. And my net worth would have stayed around the same. If you can see on the net worth chart, if you just want to look to the left here, I'm currently 4 from. I can't count that quickly, but I am not anywhere near the top there. I am just above their supports. I am the lowest core. I am below the jungle troll, which is an incredibly slow jungler, who is still level 4. So I'm below the jungle troll at the moment, so my net worth is very bad. So my decision to rotate bottom is, well, it'd be a risky one. It's mostly a sure kill, because I'm very sure I saw Lion mid, Alchemist is top, Drow is completely on her own. So just to go back to the replay here, I think rotating bottom here is a very good decision, and this is what I'm talking about. So Drow is diving under the tower because she wants this Clinks, a good bait there by Clinks, and an instant pickup there for me. So going back to what I was saying about game adaptability, if I was doing well in the lane, I could have just gone back to the lane, maybe, you know, farmed a little bit. But I'm behind. I need a kill. I need to make an impact on the game, and just farming is not going to make an impact in the game because I'm already behind. So by getting that kill, I overtake the Clinks in net worth. Clinks being on my team, which isn't that great, but I'm coming up on this troll, and I'm more than certain that troll is in this jungle. He did fall back because he saw me in the lane, but I'm more than certain that because he's behind in levels that he's going to stay in the jungle, and he gets a courier near him and an instant pick up there for me again. So 2 kills at quick succession there for me. Tiny that was behind now overtaking the troll in net worth and coming up on the axe and the drow in terms of net worth. So pick up level 7 there. The rune is not going to spawn, so I'm level 7. And at this point, I'm completely out of mana, so my kill potential is pretty much 0. So I am, you know, going to go back to the lane to get a bit of CS. Tank is up a bit here. I'm 986 health because, of course, that free strength gain per level makes me pretty tanky. So, again, to go back to what I was saying, adapting the way you're playing, like even if you're playing a Shadow Fiend and you're behind in a lane, if you keep going back to that lane and you keep getting ganked, you're just getting stomped by a Queen of Pain or maybe a Lion with level 6 and he can just instantly blow you up and you can't get the gold. Adapting the game as Shadow Fiend is more or less going back to the jungle and farming the jungle, which is more akin to my Medusa game where I show you how to adapt a core, sort of a farming role. So if you're playing a hero that relies on farming, less so on kills, you want to adapt your gameplay in a different way. But with Tiny, I can adapt my gameplay to get kills. I'm just going to rotate to the mid lane. Shadow Fiend a little bit far up, and a toss on top of him with the call is pretty much going to sign his death. The silencer does rotate to the mid lane, last word, and that picks up the kill. So a really nice kill there for us. I saw Lion rotate to mid lane. Drow Ranger unfortunately does pick up our bottom tower, and that is not very good for us. She's leading the net worth chart, but we got another kill there. We're keeping Shadow Fiend down, which is really important to keep Shadow Fiend down as long as possible. As well, his souls are getting a lot lower, so his attack damage is also a lot lower, means he farms slower. So that's good for us. I don't know if they picked up the bottom runes. We're going to rotate bottom. I think they did, but I still have enough mana for at least 1 stone, and a clarity there from Silencer is going to allow me to eventually get the mana I need for a full combo. So 2-2-1 is the score. 2 of my deaths were in the lane in quick succession. Then I get another 2 kills in quick succession, and then I get an assist with that toss onto Shadow Fiend, killing him again. So the supports are playing very defensive around the mid lane, and I realise this, so I'm going to be playing very passive in this mid lane. Unfortunately, I can't really jungle much on Tiny, and again we have an axe jungle, so I can't really jungle at all. So I'm pretty much forced to either lane or look for kills. I know the troll is jungling, but I'm pretty sure their supports are hanging around the mid lane, and that is of course quite close to the Radiant jungle. So here, just going to be CSing a little bit. Going to fast forward it a little bit for you all. So Alchemist is going to pick up this rune bottom, and a toss on top of him He picks up the haste, which I really wanted, but I just instantly tossed the silencer. And Drow going to get a little bit far out of position here. She does get stunned. The last word is going to go down. A couple of clicks from Clinks is going to sign her death there. Troll is moving here with the Alpha Wolf. Is going to buff his damage up a little bit. Can't really man fight him, but I have two heavy right-clicking ranged heroes here, and they're just going to pick up a kill on Troll. I mean, it is weird watching him just stand there fighting, but at that point he couldn't really run. He's pretty much dead. So with the kills and assists I've been getting, the kill there on Alchemist, the assist there on Drow, the assist there on Troll Warlord, my kill participation is the highest of my team. I have been in 6 of our kills, which is really impressive for a mid hero, especially a mid hero that's not that fast. So I'm going to pick up the I'm going to pick up my blink now, and I don't opt to go for treads again. Just to pause this for you, kind of want to I kind of want to make more impact, and blink is a heavy impact item. The impact you have with blink is far bigger than that impact I have with treads. Treads is a good item, and you should usually go treads before blink on most heroes that want treads and blink, because obviously the treads just gives you more lane farming. It just gives you, you know, better sustain, better presence in a lane. But the blink, getting it before treads, the blink, the earlier you get it, and when they don't know you have it, it should usually be a free kill on heroes like Tiny and on Axe. I wouldn't really recommend rushing the blink on Shadow Fiend, because you have no disable. You kind of blink on top of them and raise, and you're in a very bad position. You could blink on ult, but if they have a disable, they're going to stop your ultimate. But on Tiny, the blink seals the deal, and I can get some really good kills with this. So, knowing that I need to make even more impact, still far behind, they have a lot of cores, we can't let them get online. There's no point in me trying to out-farm them. I'm going to buy this blink, and I'm going to rotate onto the mid. They are going to pick up Axe, but I'm going to get a free kill here onto Tiny for myself. I am now dominating 4-2 and 3. I can't do much about the Shadow Fiend, but if he hangs around a bit longer, going to bottle up a little bit, going to look for that toss, going to do the toss onto him again. Actually going to blink onto Shadow Fiend and toss him back to Silencer, way out of position, and he's going to get picked up. A nice last word there, and a stun from me. Really nice kill for me to get. So a good kill for me to get, 5-2 and 3, very aggressive play from me. They're using my ability to toss other enemy heroes into different positions, using that to my advantage. Unfortunately here I do not have enough mana to toss Clinks. I do just tick enough mana as she enters the fog there. But an illusion rune gonna spawn, and I'm gonna look to pick this up and bottle up a little bit. I'm just going to fast forward a little bit more, guys. So we're going to look around the mid lane, and we're going to look for this tower and any heroes that turn up. I'm feeling pretty strong now. I just picked up my treads. I'm level 10. I have max in my stun combo. A Drow here going to go on to Silencer, and I do mess up the toss combo. Unfortunately, Silencer are going to come out to stop Shadow Fiend from chucking any razors on top of me, saving me there. And Axe, fortunately there, picking up the blink, dropping on top of Drow, getting the execution there. I'm going to do again what I did to Shadow Fiend before and toss him back onto Silencer, but my pathing a little bit bad. If you could see there, if you were paying attention, like really paying attention, you would have seen my cursor accidentally clicked on the cliff and pathed wrong. So I pathed back into Shadow Fiend. So a bit of a panic coming up from me, and initially a good play tossing him into my team, but a bad play by spam clicking and accidentally clicking the cliff. So a little bit more control from me there, I would have survived, and that would have been a very good play for me to make. But still, keeping Shadow Fiend down, I did feed him a mega kill, which is very unfortunate, but he does get brought down, I guess. A bad play there from me, but we'll look over it. Again, still trying to play aggressive. It's not always going to work. It is harder to do than just to farm. You know, the execution needs to be better when you just want to run around and kill. And I'm just going to keep this up. I'm not really looking to farm. We need to press the aggression. And adapting your game also revolves around what kind of lineup the enemy team have. If they have a team that's very aggressive in the early game, maybe you want to look to farm. Maybe you just want to look to outcarry them in the end game. And I'm going to put a stun onto Shadow Fiend. I don't actually end up tossing him into the air, but it is pretty much going to sign his death. A little bit of a mess up there from me, but we did what we needed to do. So using a toss combo there. Every toss combo I'm kind of using results in a kill either way. And that's what I want to be aiming for. So going to change my treads to agility to get the full amount out of the bottle. Definitely don't want your treads on int when you want to bottle up for mana, and you definitely don't want your treads on strength when you want to bottle up for health. So switching to agility secures that you get the full amount of the bottle. So I noticed this camp's been done, and I think they might have a ward up here. Of course, I don't know if they do, but I'm going to hang around here because rotating to mid, a lot of heroes are going to hang around the mid tower at this portion of the game. So I'm going to look for some kills here. Axe is with me, and we're kind of playing very aggressive with the Axe and Tiny, knowing that the two of us with the two blinks can kill anyone we see. And the Radiant there, Drow and Troll picking up the Aegis, but Drow making very interesting positioning plays, and I'm going to start rotating towards this Drow. I'm going to instantly pick her up with a toss combo, and don't know what she was doing there. She was kind of looking for the Ancient. She's playing very aggressive. They don't actually have any wards because of their lineup, so she couldn't really see where we were, and just going to pick her up there with a toss onto her. 4 heroes rotating there for a Drow Ranger. The Aegis completely wasted. Of course they got the gold and XP from Roshan, which isn't too great for us, but picking up Drow there, I'm now ahead of Drow in net worth. Bristleback is ahead of everyone in net worth who was on our team, which is great for us. So we're kind of looking to punish their greed as much as possible, and we're doing this quite well, I feel. So again, adapting your game, adapting the way you play and the way your hero plays, it revolves around how well your lane went, how much space you have to farm, the lineup of the enemy team. So there's a lot of factors that contribute to how you should play the game. That you shouldn't look to just play one hero the same every game. Of course, heroes like Anti-Mage and Medusa are kind of, you know, you always want to be farming, but there are different ways to farm. You know, if your lane was going badly, you maybe want to rotate out of the lane a lot earlier and go to that jungle because it's a lot safer. A gust's going to come out here, but it doesn't do any damage, so I instantly blink out, suspecting there may be more heroes there than just Drow. Clinks is going to rotate bomb, and I have a toss combo here, and my blink is coming off for 3 seconds, so I'm going to look for this Drow Ranger. She's playing very brave, and is going to get tossed up and stunned. She's going to check out another gust, which does stop me from getting the kill, but Clink's there, picking up the kill. A silence is going to come out from Silencer, very defensive, does stop Lion from stunning that Clink's under the tower. That would probably mean he would get killed. A little bit of a fog juke here is going to stop me from getting killed. Shadowfiend does rotate bomb, and I'm going to get straight out of here. I don't want to be here, not with 3 heroes there, especially without a toss combo. So I have no mana, and I should really back off here, which I am doing. Hopefully my team does as well, but I don't think they will. They're kind of going bottom without me. They do know I have no mana, and they shouldn't be here. So again, not good from us being here, not good from Clinks and Axe being here. But there's little I can do. Of course, in a pub game, there's little you can do for the way your teammates play. So long story short, these guys do die. A dust come out of there from Lion, does spot the Clinks. He does get caught in the creeps, and just not good positioning. They really shouldn't have been there, and they are going to die for that. I switched my trust to int to maybe try and get enough for a combo. I could maybe kill someone, but I'm not going to be able to get enough, and I'm going to rotate bomb to the bottom rune and get this bounty rune. I spot out Drow Ranger mid. She's going to get pretty low from this Bristleback. He's almost going to kill her, but the TP is going to scare him off. Little does she know, because of their lack of wards, that I have rotate to the mid, and a toss combo is going to instantly finish up that Drow. So Nasal Goo is going to come out on top of this this Alchemist here, and a stun going to come out onto Bristleback, basically nerfing our kill potential. He's reaching it up really fast. I do toss the Bristleback onto Alchemist, but unfortunately we can't really follow that up, so we're not going to get a kill from that. So the runes have pretty much all been mine, and this is beautiful for me because I only need a few charges to get another toss combo. Tiny's int is actually really bad, but the toss combo is pretty cheap, 240 mana at level 4 for that toss combo. I'm going to rotate to top here, having got another rune, a big wave coming out here. Don't want it to do too much damage to the tower with free range creeps, and I'm going to look for some nice farm here. At this point, I'm kind of more focusing towards safely farming up my Aghanim Scepter, and so risking my gold running around for kills, while it could get me more gold, it's definitely a lot riskier. If I die, I lose gold, and then I'm further away from my Aghanim Scepter. So I'm going to look towards my Aghanim Scepter because the impact of this item is huge. Another bounty picked up here for me, and this is going to get me pretty close to my Aghanim Scepter. I have the Staff of Wizardry and the Ogre Club, 300 gold, well 260 gold for my Blade of Alacrity, So a few camps will get me this. I do spot out troll wall at bottom, but there's no tier 1 to TP to, and I don't have a TP. I should really have a TP, but Dry Ranger here, completely opposition. That lack of map control, pretty much, that lack of tier 1 mid, and the lack of map control, pretty much signing her death there. So again, I was saying I wouldn't go for kills, but that was a very safe kill to go for there with Axe. I knew where their team was, I knew troll was bottom, so I was very sure we could get that kill, and we did. So again, another kill onto Drow. I'm currently first in net worth, above Shadowfiend, which is pretty impressive. Their courier does get picked up by Clink, so that gives me even more gold. The parts of my Aghanims are going to come out, and I'm going to pick my Aghanims. Usually you want to pick up Aghanims after your blink on Tiny, but if you're really far behind on Tiny, maybe you want to pick up that Aghanim Scepter, because obviously it accelerates your farm. Blink accelerates your potential to kill, so you kind of need to make a conscious personal decision whether you pick up the blink or Aghanims first. There's no cookie cutter rule. On Meatpoke, you want the Aghanim Scepter as fast as possible. That's not always the case on Tiny. So with this huge siege damage that I'm now doing with the Aghanim Scepter, whacking this tower with a tree, of course I'm going to do a lot of damage, and we're just going to pick up that tier 1 for free, getting us some nice damage, a nice gold across the board there, and some more map control. So our map control is pretty heavy. We're farming their jungle, we're farming near their tier 1s, so we're just taking their tier 1s, all gone now. And troll wall is going to be mid. I'm going to get spotted out by lions, so I blink early so I don't get stunned, and that is pretty much going to mean I can't get off the perfect toss combo. Soundseer going to come out from Soundseer, making sure that I can't get Finger of Death. Really nice from him, but he doesn't really want to have to throw these Soundseers out defensively. It's not so great for him. I'm going to go top rune to see if there is a rune there, and indeed there is, because their map control is awful. Shadowfiend there getting picked up by Axe. Alchemist making the decision to farm our jungle. I can see that on the replay, but I can't see that in the game. Of course, my night vision as Tiny is horrendous, so I don't manage to see Alchemist there farming that camp. I don't know if his night vision was able to see me. Again, I have this on player perspective. So I'm going to farm at this lane, kind of rotating up. I'm a lot quicker now. 385 movement speed is pretty decent. I'm getting pretty close to my level 3 ultimate, which will really increase my ability to take towers and just my damage overall. Drow is going to rotate top, but before the projectile can hit, I do a really nice blink and dodge the silence as well. Rotating behind me there could have actually killed me if she kited me perfectly. It's just going to stay in this lane. I do have enough mana for a toss combo, and I'm going to kind of go greedy, very aggressive, typical of my play. So I'm going to look to combo this Drow if I can, and she is going to stay. She's desperate for the gold. She doesn't see me because her night vision isn't that great, and I blink straight on top of her. The toss combo not quite finishing her off, but a nice right click there at the end. Mega kill streak for me. Don't want to feed this away, so I'm going to quickly rotate away from that tier 2. They could definitely rotate to that tier 2 and pick me up with a few heroes. So I fight here, going down at the bottom rune. I'm just rotating around, getting farm. We have a lot of map control now, and the game is looking really good for us. The top 3 net worth positions have been claimed by myself, Bristleback, and Axe. Myself, 2,000 net worth ahead of everyone else. So looking really nice for me. Picking up this Hyperstone, which is really going to increase my ability to take towers, and just my right click damage overall. Sometimes you maybe want to pick up a BKB if you're a little bit behind on Tiny. You're getting killed quite easily, but we're very far ahead, so I'm going to pick this Hyperstone, which is going to accelerate my farm and my ability to just kill and take towers, which is a nice item on Tiny, because his attack time is awful, and his agility aim is one, I think, the worst in the game. I think maybe Skyrath has lower agility gain, I'm not quite sure. But you can see with this Aghanim Scepter and the level 3 ultimate, I'm able to just clear camps pretty quickly, and still attacking quite slowly. Of course they're chalking me creep. I'm going to fast forward this a little bit more to where the action goes down, guys. So we're pushing their tier 3 up a little bit here, playing very aggressive. We want to seal the deal, and again, I was saying before, it's very important to realise the carry potential of the enemy, well, the late game potential of the enemy team, and the late game potential of your team. And I'm not feeling too good about late game for us. We have to play it very well, and really they don't, they just need to get items and they can kill us. So I'm going to head towards this AC. I'm going to farm up a little bit more. and we'll see when I get that. Clinks is unfortunately going to get picked up by a dust. They do actually have a sentry ward there. He's going to get pretty low. Is he going to die? He does get finger of death by the line. And a bad engagement for us here, really. They have a very nice position on us. The Stance Roll is going to come out, but it's not going to do too much. It does stunt their ability to kill us. I'm going to Blink Toss on top of this Alchemist, but it's not really the right target to go for. He's got that level 2 ultimate, regenerating very fast. We're all standing in the acid spray, which is not good for us at all. My armor is already pretty low, and I could look for a toss combo on this drow, but the team is close behind us, and before I can get attacked, I do a very nice blink and get out of there sharpish. So I'm going to sell my Calling Blade now and buy the plate mail, realizing my armor in the acid spray is incredibly low, even with 4 levels in craggy. So I now have 19 armor, which is really nice for me. Tiny again has awful agility gain, so you want armor items. And AC is probably one of the, well, is the best armor item for Tiny. So Alchemist farming the bottom lane. He's quite far out of position here, and I am going to look to get on top of him. The stun coming out just in time. Even with the regen up, he's still going to die, and a nice kill there for me. 10 kill, 10 3 6 is the score for me. I'm going to wait for my blink to come off cooldown, and I am going to blink down here. Drow actually getting engaged. She was hanging around Roshan. Her map control again awful, and she gets picked up by Clinks, the soul burn there, picking her up in the end. So I'm going to pick up this bounty and bottle up a little bit, and I'm going to go for Roshan. Killing 2 of their heroes, a 3v5 even at Roshan, is pretty favourable for us. So it's a pretty safe time to take Roshan. 2 picks like that around the Roshan pit, and you can take Roshan fairly quickly. You usually want to do it. It forces the enemy teams to think about buying back, and if they want to go there, they're going to take a very unfavourable fight indeed. And they are kind of looking to do this, which is very questionable for them. Lion completely out of position is going to get slowed down by the nasal goose. A last word coming out online there. It's just going to pick up him straight away. Mad Column there, didn't notice him at first, just going to whack him down. And we're pretty much going to take Roshan here. So Roshan goes down and I get Aegis on Tiny. Lion is still down, but Alchemist and Drow have respawned. Shadow Fiend is being pursued by Axe there, and Troll Warlord is split pushing mid, realising that 5v5 is not a very favourable engagement for them to take. A silence does come out, stopping any counter engagement from Alchemist and Drow there, and Shadow Fiend getting picked up by Axe. So some bad play by the enemy team, and at this point the enemy team is playing so tilty. By that I mean they're tilting so hard that we are just cleaning them up, and we're pretty much just winning the game as the game goes on further. So again, this is an example of what you don't want to do when you're behind, is to tilt. And it's very hard sometimes for some people not to tilt, and it's very easy to just get emotional and angry and annoyed at your team or yourself or the way the game's going. Assault is going to come out and Drow, and Drow's kind of out of position. The call does miss, and a stun there coming out from line, but I'm going to look to blink past these trees, feeling very confident, very tanky hero. But a Hex there just in time to stop my toss combination, and the silence coming out from Drow stops me from getting on top of her and tossing. So I'm instantly going to take this tower. Again, as I said before, the siege damage is pretty insane, and we're just going to be roaming around the map. So pretty much here, like, my points are over, so I'm going to fast forward a little bit to the end of the game. So we're pretty much clearing up their racks here, and while we weren't exceptionally far behind, picking my moonshot here as well, while we weren't stupidly far behind, my decision to leave my lane and look for kills, I think was a really good change of play that I needed to make. I think it was a really good idea just to not stay in the lane, not try to jungle, not try to out-farm them, but to change it to a very aggressive playstyle. And it's easier on some heroes. Of course, as I said, Tiny is a hero where you could switch on the aggression. Obviously, heroes like Medusa and Anti-Mage and Shadow Fiend, you can't really switch on aggression. You can with Shadow Fiend, but you have to be exceptionally good, and you have to have the team for it. So I'm going to pick up their effigies. We're pretty much just taking the base. We have mega creeps. We've won this game, and this was a game that could have definitely gone one of two ways. If their team had been allowed to get online, we definitely would have won, but some heavy aggression coming out from us, punishing their greed and signal support, we do manage to pick up the game. So thanks for watching this game, guys. I know hopefully the editing isn't so bad. You know, obviously I haven't edited yet. I'm still recording it as I speak now. But hopefully you've enjoyed this kind of format of a video. Hopefully you learned something, how to adapt your gameplay. You know, it's very much a case of the more you play the game, the better you are just sort of knowing how to adapt your game, and the hero obviously makes a huge difference. But Meepo, if you're into this channel because of Meepo, Meepo is definitely a hero that you adapt your gameplay according to how the game is going. I got a question from a viewer a few weeks back about whether you should focus on your aghanims before going for kills, or you should just go for kills as much as you can. It's very just much a risk versus reward thing with Meepo. You need to kind of judge how the game is going. The enemy team's heroes, how they can deal with you, and your team's heroes, can your team help you get kills? But Meepo, again, a hero. You can maybe even go Blink first on Meepo before Aghanims if you really need it, if you're really experienced with the hero. It's something I do very rarely. But thanks for watching so much, guys. If you haven't already subscribed, do please subscribe. It's so helpful for any YouTuber if you just subscribe, or just rate the video. If you disliked it, that's fine. Just let me know. If you liked it, please let me know as well. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time.